Imagine working the night shift in a hospital and hearing footsteps walking toward you through an empty hallway. Now imagine checking the security cameras only to discover the person walking those halls died years ago. Would you stay or run? Tonight on Case Number ? We're uncovering one of the most disturbing hospital mysteries ever whispered about behind closed doors. Watch until the very end, because the truth behind this case is far more terrifying than any ghost story. Case Number 7. The Last Shift, St. Marian Hospital. In northern Germany, there was a quiet little town called Rosenfeld, a peaceful place where rain fell more often than sunshine. Almost every morning, a thick blanket of fog covered the streets. To outsiders, it looked like the perfect European town, but the locals knew there was one place everyone avoided after sunset. On the outskirts of Rosenfeld stood St. Marian Hospital, a hospital that had served the town for over a century. Its massive stone walls, endless hallways, towering windows, and unsettling silence made it feel less like a hospital and more like an abandoned castle frozen in time. That same week, a young nurse named Anna Fischer started her first job. She was 26 years old, confident, dedicated, and convinced there wasn't a single thing that could frighten her. Her very first assignment was the night shift. The moment Anna stepped inside, something didn't feel right. The air was unusually cold. The silence felt unnatural. Even the sound of medical equipment seemed distant, as if the building itself were holding its breath. Anna quietly whispered, "Why does this place feel so heavy? It's like someone is always watching." An older nurse who had worked there for decades looked at Anna in complete silence. For several long seconds, she didn't say a word. Then, without smiling, she quietly whispered, "During the night shift here." She paused. No one is ever truly alone. And with that, she slowly disappeared into the darkness of the hallway. Death 1, 2:17 a.m. October 14th, 2019, 2:17 a.m. The first victim was a 60-year-old man admitted with a mild heart condition. Doctors had described his condition as stable, and nothing suggested his life was in immediate danger. Just 15 minutes earlier, he had been awake, talking calmly with a nurse, even joking about going home the next day. Then, at exactly 2:17 a.m., the heart monitor suddenly went flat. No warning, no signs of distress. The official report listed the cause of death as natural cardiac arrest, but one disturbing question remained. How could a patient who was completely stable just minutes earlier die without a single warning sign? 3 days later, date October 18th, 2019, life inside St. Marian Hospital had slowly returned to normal. Doctors believed the first death had simply been an unfortunate coincidence. No one imagined another tragedy was only hours away. The next victim was a 34-year-old woman. She had been admitted for routine observation after a minor surgical procedure. Her condition was stable. She was awake, talking comfortably with her family, only minutes before midnight. At exactly 2:17 a.m., everything changed. Without warning, her heart monitor suddenly fell silent. The room that had been filled with conversation became terrifyingly quiet. Doctors rushed into the room. Resuscitation began immediately. For nearly 20 minutes, they fought desperately to save her life, but nothing worked. At 2:37 a.m., she was officially pronounced dead. A few days later, another patient died. Once again, the hospital staff believed it had to be another tragic coincidence. But this time, someone noticed something chilling. Again, 2:17 a.m., exactly the same time. Not a minute earlier, not a minute later. By now, the coincidence had become impossible to ignore. 3 patients, 3 unexplained deaths, every one of them at exactly 2:17 a.m. Now, no one doubted it anymore. This was not an accident. Someone or something was following a pattern, and the next victim might already be inside the hospital. October 24th, 2019, 9:30 a.m. After 3 unexplained deaths, local police arrived at St. Marian Hospital to begin a full criminal investigation. Every employee working the night shift was interviewed. Every movement, every record, every minute was carefully examined. The investigation quickly narrowed to 4 people, 4 employees who had all been inside the hospital during every mysterious death. The first suspect, Dr. Marcus Vogel, the senior night physician, a respected cardiologist who had worked at St. Marian Hospital for nearly 15 years. The second suspect, Anna Fisher, the young nurse whose very first week at the hospital coincided with every unexplained death. The third suspect, Klaus Berger, the night security guard. According to surveillance logs, he had unrestricted access to every floor of the hospital. The fourth suspect, Elias Weber, the hospital's medical equipment technician, the only employee authorized to repair and recalibrate the life support machines. Every one of them had access. Every one of them had opportunity. But none of them had a clear motive. Investigators searched lockers, medical records, security footage, and maintenance logs. But despite weeks of investigation, they found no direct evidence against anyone. Only one strange detail kept appearing again and again. Every member of the night staff avoided one forgotten place deep beneath the hospital, the old server room. Whenever investigators asked about that room, the answers were always the same: silence, avoidance, and one warning: don't go in there after midnight. Anna slipped her hand into the pocket of her uniform and felt a folded piece of paper. She slowly opened it. A single sentence was written in dark ink: "If you want to stay alive, leave the ward at 2:10 a.m. There was no name, no signature, no explanation, just a warning. Instead of running, Anna chose to stay. At 2:10 a.m., the ward was completely silent. At 2:14, the lights suddenly flickered and went out for a few seconds. At 2:16, the sound of slow footsteps echoed through the empty hallway. Then at exactly 2:17 a.m., the patient's heart monitor went flat. Another life was gone, but this time, Anna saw something she had never noticed before. In the reflection of the monitor's glass, a dark figure was standing silently behind the patient's curtain. It didn't move. It was simply watching. The hospital went into full lockdown. All exits were sealed. No one was allowed in or out. Inside the building, panic spread quickly. Whispers filled the corridors. Suspicion grew everywhere. No one trusted anyone anymore. Not the doctors, not the police officers, not even Anna herself. During the system investigation, technicians uncovered something hidden deep inside the hospital servers. A secret account appeared in the logs. Admin knocked. The account had been accessing the medication system at the exact times each patient died. Every single time. But what shocked them even more was the system record showing the account had been deleted 5 years ago. Yet it was still active. Further investigation led to a name buried in old hospital records: Dr. Adrian Keller. He had worked in this very hospital years ago. But everything changed after a suspicious patient death was linked to him. He was accused of a fatal medical error. His reputation collapsed overnight. He was dismissed from the hospital. And just 1 month later, Dr. Adrian Keller was found dead in his home, under circumstances officially ruled as suicide. Anna entered the server room. She opened the old system files, and then the truth was revealed. There was no physical killer inside the hospital. The hospital's drug system was connected to an old algorithm. This algorithm was created by Dr. Adrian Keller before his death. Its purpose was to identify patients who the system wrongly marked as beyond saving. But after his death, the system continued running without supervision, and it developed a dangerous bug. Any patient with specific conditions would automatically have life support cut at 2:17 a.m. The deaths were not caused by a human killer, but the motive existed inside the system itself. Dr. Keller had written before his death, "If my system remains active without supervision, it must eliminate patients who are only suffering." He wanted to create a system of painless death, but after his death, someone removed the ethical settings. The hospital system was shut down, but before it completely powered off, a final message appeared on the screen: "Ethics module not found." Anna left the hospital. but she could never forget 2:17 a.m. Thank you for watching this case. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to subscribe for more investigations.
Every crime scene leaves a story. This one just refuses to end.